coming
if you
up.
keep interrupting me, I cannot do these interviews with you. I'm correcting you for your unprofessionalism in interrupting me, and you're still trying to do it.
Like you.
How do you know my daughter or wife isn't black?
The liberal whites, the Democrats and others, they always get...
I wonder how you live with yourself when you talk about people that you've never taken the time to get to know.
Barack Obama, you know who he is, right?
No, I'm completely ignorant. You're going to do liberal again, aren't you? Here we
right
go.
about
Liberal,
this.
Obama, liberal, Obama. I was the one saying, I do not follow. I am a leader.
What?
Do you understand the difference?
Hello, cultural warriors. How y'all doing today? Roland here. This video is a doozy. Very epic. An epic battle between an ex-Baltimore cop versus, you know who? Jesse Lee Peterson. Man, you guys are going to enjoy this video. I want you to watch it from the beginning to the end. Remember, it's a cultural war and we keep fighting this war every single day. And at the end of the day, the righteous will win this war. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so whenever I drop a new video like this one, you'll be the first to get it. Without wasting too much time, let's get into it.
Are blacks suffering due to the lack of moral character and the destruction of the family, or this idea of racism?
But see, you're making claims that just...
That's a question.
But no,
that was a question.
No, it's a
Are
claim.
they suffering due to the destruction of the family, lack of moral character, or is there something else that's causing them to suffer?
You compound things, so family structure and moral character are separate issues. You understand that, right?
You haven't answered the question yet.
Right, you can't combine separate issues into one question. So, or is it because they lack moral character? Absolutely not. And an example that I can give of that with complete ease is that in Cleveland, when Tamir Rice was murdered, no cops got killed. If a cop kills my daughter, rest assured cops will get killed.
So you say no, they're not suffering due to the lack of moral character. How about the destruction of the family?
Absolutely. That's
Could
what
that be having an impact on why they're suffering?
Right. Well, see, I locked up 458 black fathers and took them away from their families. That's how they end up out.
And that's the system fault too?
Yeah, absolutely it is.
So blacks don't take any responsibility for their failures?
They don't take any responsibility.
Are you telling them that they shouldn't take any responsibility? It's always someone else?
No, absolutely not.
Then you just blame the system for locking up the black fathers.
Because things has nuance. So what I'm telling you is maybe one person out of there made a decision that wasn't directly affected by the systems and institutions which puts them into that neighborhood, which makes a cop from the county that was never arrested and is ultra privileged to go down in there and put them in a prison cell, get an overtime check for it, and the community says that that was a good thing, when we demonstrably know that it's not, because putting people in prison increases their chance of committing a crime again, because that fuels the causation. And if you keep interrupting me, I cannot do these interviews with you. You have to be professional in some aspect whatsoever and let your guests finish this. I'm correcting you for your unprofessionalism in interrupting me, and you're still trying to do it. It's amazing.
No, we're running out of time, and you go on and on and on, and I've heard this crap before. But let me ask.
Why are you so amazed if you've heard it all before?
Let me ask this. Would you justify the actions of your own children? Let's say you were married with kids. I don't know if you are. Are you married?
You should know that before we start this interview.
Are you married?
You should know that before we start.
Are you married?
Yeah.
And you have children?
Mm-hmm.
And so if your kids went out and did crazy things or didn't have a sense of self-control, would you correct them, or would you blame the system or someone else for them being out of control?
It's a false equivalency.
What's the answer to that? How would you correct your own children, or would you teach them to blame someone else?
It's a false equivalency, because in my house, the system is me.
Is what?
But outside of your house, the system is controlled by others.
No, but what is the answer to, would you?
I just explained it to you with complete nuance.
So you would treat your own family better than you're treating black people, because you're giving them a way out.
Well,
and I noticed that whites like you.
How do you know my daughter or wife isn't black?
I noticed that whites like you.
How do you know my daughter or wife isn't black?
The liberal whites, the Democrats and others, they always give black people a way out by telling them that they don't have to be responsible. It's the old bad white man. It's the system. You're not responsible. And so now we have generation and generation of black people who are angry and out of control. The anger starts in the home, because most of them are angry at their mothers and grandmothers. But people like you tell them it's the system, so they never get better. How do you live with yourself deceiving people in that manner?
I wonder how you live with yourself when you talk about people that you've never taken the time to get to know.
I don't know what you mean. I've been knowing black people all my life. I know black people.
You have clearly never
the ones
operated.
That I do know are black people.
You have never gone into those neighborhoods, and you never
That's
talked.
Not true. I live in those neighborhoods. I work in those neighborhoods.
Okay.
For the last 27
That's
years.
fine.
So what you're saying is not true.
Wonderful. I mean, anybody that wants to investigate it is going to find out I'm correct.
No, they're going to find out you're wrong. Where did you get that information from? That I don't work in the black community.
Well, I mean, if you do, you're being completely, willfully ignorant, because the words that are coming from your mouth are not the words that have come from the thousands of drug dealers that I have talked to and the communities that I've been in. It's amazing how you can actually think that you understand policing and the dynamics of police and a drug dealer when you've been neither police nor drug dealer, nor will have an honest conversation with either of them. That is an amazing level of ignorance.
You didn't answer the question. Where did you get the information from that I don't work in the black community?
Because
and I don't know black
I did
people.
just explain to you. It's because of the words coming out of your mouth are expressed of those of ignorance.
But you pretend to be smarter than that, and you just said something that's not true.
That's fine that you can say it's not true. If you're there, you're not listening.
Listen to what I hear them blaming white folks and blaming the cops. Are black cops against black people as well?
I have never heard a drug dealer on the corner tell me that if it wasn't for these cops and for white people, he would be fine. Never heard that. Not once.
And you know why, right?
Why?
Because they have people like you telling them that it's not their fault, it's someone else.
Okay, this is the time when I was a conservative and I was a Republican registered and I was a cop and I was white. Your hero that you think is running this country with such greatness, that's what I was. So you're telling me, you're arguing against your prototype of what an American should be.
Barack Obama, you know who he is, right?
No, I'm completely ignorant. Come on, man.
Barack Obama was in the White House for 8 years. And I write about this in my column.
You're going to do liberal again, aren't you?
I
Here we
write
go.
about
Liberal,
this.
Obama, liberal, Obama, liberal, Obama. There are no sides. You argue Obama, or you argue Bush, or you argue Gore. These are all the same thing. It is about systems and institutions. That's it.
It's people like you who hate black people and see them as incapable, the men and the women, especially the men.
You keep talking about black people. I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about institutions.
You think that you are better than black people, and it's better than black men because you can take care of yourself, you can take care of your family, but the poor blacks, institutional racism is holding them back. You have no respect for black people. You are the true hater of black Americans, the people like you. If you cared about black people, you would treat them in the way you would treat your own family.
Can you tell me how you voiced outrage about Tamir Rice's
raise
murder?
your children, stop raising, allow your kids to grow up without parents and become thugs in
Those
the
values
streets.
are held in the black community in the ghetto and by drug dealers and by everybody else. That's why I know you've never been there.
Those values are not held by drug dealers. If they were held by drug dealers, they wouldn't be drug dealers.
Drug dealers sell drugs so they can put diapers on their children.
That's a lie.
Okay.
That's
I
an
know.
excuse.
I have been there. I
That's the
actually have
excuse.
been there.
But they
and
lied to
studied
you.
it.
They told you what you wanted to hear.
They
I
lied
want
to me.
move on.
I was the lead detective on a major case narcotics team doing the actual observations in court with video documentation. Are you calling me a liar?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe you believe what they said, but they lied to you.
I was the one saying, I do not follow. I am a leader.
What?
Do you understand the difference?
And so you're leading black people.
You are following.
Are you
these
leading black
paradigms.
Americans?
No, I'm not leading.
Who are you leader
I lead
of?
the building of frameworks so that other people have a level playing field.
Like
and that's
who?
what you should do, and
Like
that's what
who?
Jesus would do.
Like who? You
Everyone.
know, like who?
Everyone.
Who are you working with?
So if the black community became more powerful than the white community, I would fight just as much for a level playing field. I fight for level playing fields. You fight for the identity and to keep us fighting one another so that we can continue to allow police departments to extract resources from poor communities to fund their oppression while you support it. That's what I'm against.
That's so ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
I know.
You have no respect for black Americans. And it's too
Obvious.
bad that they are in a fallen state of anger that they cannot see that people like you are using them.
Explosive interview. I told you it was going to be explosive, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Very entertaining, but very explosive, and still yet you could learn a thing or two from here. You see, this is supposed to be an ex-cop who has been in the legal system for a long time, but still talking down on values. Values are very important, and why the society is the way society is today is because of the values has been lowered. Of moral values, everything, in fact, not lowered, is totally gone. We have very few people that are still trying to preserve these values. You see, it's very important that one should be accountable for whatever one does. And what this guy is trying to tell us is trying to play that black race card again. The black people, trying to pity them. Like if we need some kind of pity from anybody, we are strong, and when we do something wrong, we'll take responsibility for it. We must learn to be accountable for every of our actions. If you do the crime, if you do the crime, you must do the time. It's as simple as that. If you do the crime, you must do the time. You must be ready to do the time. So all black people should know this. Just sit up and stop playing that race card. Stop being lazy. Stop looking for reparations. Stop looking for handouts, and forget about the past. Forgive and move on and stop living in the past. It's about time we move on as a black people. Love everybody. After all, I keep saying this, we are all brothers and sisters from the same father, Adam, from the same mother, Eve. There's nothing like racism doesn't exist. We are brothers and sisters, and we need to know that because we all bleed one color, and that's red. Tell me what you think in the comment section, guys. Drop your opinion. I'd like to react to it. If you've not subscribed to the channel yet, please, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get the next video. Until the next video, I'm out.